And good evening, everyone, and welcome out to Sunday night at Buffalo Wild Wings. We are in the house. The speakers must be working, Chuck, because everybody turned around at that point in time. I am Doug Gann alongside of head coach Josh Brown, and we are here for the Warrior Roundup. It is Sunday night at Buffalo Wild Wings, and Coach, welcome in.
Hey, man. Glad to be back.
Look, what a week that it was for you guys. Go 4-0, 2-0 in district, and, man, tell me a little bit about it. Let's just jump right into it, because we've got an action-packed night going on tonight, too. So take me back through last week just a little bit.
Yeah, we played good baseball. We played Northwest on Monday. Went up there. Maddox threw a complete game,
Right.
two-hitter. The boys played really good baseball. You know, we had a really good inning in the fourth inning. I think we put up around 14 runs in the fourth inning and blew it open. Then we went on – no, we had Harrisonburg, I'm sorry.
Right, on Tuesday, that's right.
Yeah, at our place, and Logan threw a no-hitter, shutout. I think it was, what was it, 8, 9 Ks?
I think, yeah.
You know, he was locked in pretty good, and, you know, Maddox still did his thing. You know, I thought he had a good week, and Wells came through with a couple doubles. And
Well, Tuesday night, let's not go any further. And Braden, we've got a lot to talk about. I talked to Braden a little bit earlier when he came in here tonight, but Tuesday night was special. Tuesday night, and the folks at home are watching this too, but that was the night of the 500th victory for you. So we were around on the 400th as well, the 500th. So congratulations. It's been just a tremendous run for you on there. And tell us a little bit about it, not the memories of each of them, but sum up the 500 wins that you've had.
where would I start? Of course, I would say state championships, no doubt one of the best. I'd have to put Barb up there. You know, anytime you can go on the road and beat the number 9 team in the country. We were watching, that came up in the memories yesterday on Facebook. You know, and I can hear you screaming, my wife screaming. So there's a lot of good memories there. And then a Florine game is one of those that, you know, I will always stick in my memories because that was a great comeback.
Well, you talk about the 2017 season, which was the state championship, but 2016 was pretty special because that was the trip to Houston was that year, wasn't it?
No, 2017 was Houston.
Right. 2016 was the playoff game at Florine, and that's the lights of the dark outfield night too. I mean, it was just, I don't think that I've seen as much emotion and fire and passion in a cheering crowd as I saw that night.
Yeah, if you remember, we were down 7-2 in that game.
I remember it.
The right field light went out, and they wanted to stop the game. Their coach wanted to keep playing, and I thought about it for a few minutes, like, why not? You know, what do we got to lose? So we go and play, and it changed the whole momentum of the game.
A dink here, a drop there, and before you know it. And so the funny thing is, and look, I get in so much trouble, and I share a lot. I'm very transparent on the show. I can't remember. So my wife told me to stop by the store on the way home and get something. For the life of me, I can't remember what it was that she told me to get. But I remember the sign on the dugout that was talking about the dynasties and things like that because they had just won state, I think, the year before. And they said the dynasties, and the picture of you guys with that sign afterwards after the win was pretty special.
Yeah, we actually had that sign for about 3 years.
Right.
We took that sign with us. So, you know, that was a great win there. You know, I would rank the Hicks win back in 2010 as well was a really good one. There's been a number of victories that's been really good. You know, I mean, you got to have a whole lot of people buying. The Anacoco one, beating Will Reese, who signed with LSU. That's one I remember that. Nobody gave us a shot in that game.
In the semifinal game before, unfortunately, go and lose the state championship to Fairview. That game that had I think the Loggers had came in. They were 21, 22 years old. It seemed like as big as they were in that one. But no, it was a lot of fun. But Will Reese, that's right, in Anacoco.
Yeah, that was a huge victory. You know, a lot of people didn't give us a shot. You know, you got a guy throwing on the mound 90-91.
Right.
And the kids just found a way to get it done, and they were scrappy. You know, we had no seniors on that team, I believe.
That's right.
Maybe one. I know it wasn't no senior starters. So, you know, that was a special group. There's just a lot of good ones, man. I mean, I even go back to the 2004 team. We won 20 games that year, and, you know, 2003 we only had 9-10 players, and then 2004 we had 20, and that's when it really started turning around, and we just got kids to buy into what we were doing, and you got to have a good staff, good players, and everybody to buy in, and for that stuff to happen.
Look, 500 wins, and you see it's family. There are folks that start as 8th graders, and that's been a history of it. I think the record for most parental involvement was probably 200 games by the Courtrights. They've been here, it seems like, for almost half of the 500 wins. And we haven't even talked about that little bitty short drive up to Dyersville, Iowa, and the Field of Dreams.
Oh, man, that was awesome. The kids, they're always looking for me to find another place to go to. Field of Dreams was a blast, dude.
Right.
So beautiful up there. That was a great time. Even though we didn't win the game, it's just special to get away with all your everybody in your program, the families. It's just a great time.
Well, it was great because you get the history of all of it. The movie that was made there, of course, Frank Thomas and his involvement in what he's done with it. But we were able to meet the gentleman that played the dad in the movie, too, and still have the glove that he signed for us. And a dollar bill that we spent hangs up in that museum on there. So that was pretty neat. Here's a little bit of trivia for you. Do you know the amount of time that Chuck drove on that trip? It was 17 hours there, 17 hours back. Do you know the amount of time Chuck drove? I'll tell you, 30 minutes.
I was going to say 2 hours.
No, 30 minutes was all I could handle with.
He's over there saying...
He knows, though. He absolutely was. But it's been a lot of those things, and 500 wins, the state championship, the defeat of Barb, the big comebacks and those different things, the KALB game, that we won't get into.
Yeah,
we won't get into that one. But that was a lot of fun. There's just a lot of memories that are out here. So I guess all of that, Coach, gets us to the Tuesday part of it, and your 500th win. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it for sure.
So big win over Harrisonburg. It puts you 1-0 in district. You turn around Thursday night and make the trip over to Harrisonburg and tell us. And that's in the middle of, I think it's 4 straight run rule games that you guys have had.
Correct. We went to Harrisonburg and we threw Seth. I think he had 7 strikeouts. Cooper finished the game in the 5th. But the offense was really good to start the ball game. We scored 5 runs right out the gate. And then in the 4th inning, we blew it open. I think we sent, 16, 17 kids to the plate. And, it was just a good inning. And we came out there with an 18-0 win. And, a lot of kids got to play, and I hate that lately because I feel like we hadn't played some JV games, so you want to try to play as many people as you can. And, it's a good situation we're in. And then we played Simsboro, who was 10-4 Saturday.
Had just had an extra inning victory earlier that day off of Northside Christian, another game that we had went and played, and what a game that was several years back. But you're rolling along, and it's 3-0 in that game. And look, for once, your game was not the longest one of the day on a Saturday. That one actually, I think, was about an hour and a half.
It was a quick game.
So we were an hour 30 late. First pitch was 1:03. It was scheduled for 11:30. You were an hour and a half delay on our game starting. The next game started less than an hour and a half, so we made up time. I don't know that that's ever been said.
No, I don't think so. Because most of the time, me and Jimmy Miller were talking yesterday. We got out of there a few tournaments 3 o'clock in the morning.
I understand that. Look, as an older parent, when JG and Noah were there too, when they got to an age where they would drive, you just kind of smile and wave at the younger parents who had to wait for all of that to finish up to get their kids and go home.
That's
and
right.
us parents that had kids that drove, just bye.
That's it.
So, no, but we rolled along in that game, and again, another big inning. You're 3-0 in the 5th, pop up 7 runs. It looked like Simsboro, the Tigers ran out of pitching in that one, but you were able to walk when you needed to walk, get the base hits when you needed to get them.
Correct. We ran the bases pretty good there, too.
Right.
And we had a good week bunting the baseball as well. I just felt like overall our offense has had some big innings, and hopefully we'll continue to do that. And I was really pleased, though, to get off to a really good start against the Harrisonburg Bulldogs the other day, because I felt like a couple of games, past couple of weeks, we were leaving people on base, but we're starting to find our way. And, we got some kids that are kind of rolling right now with those sticks.
Indeed they are. And let's take a look at your last 5 games, Coach. And folks that are watching this at home or go back and see it, that goes back to the Mamou game that you won 7-3. Northwest, you beat 21-1, and that started a run of 4 straight that have been run rule games, the 11-0 over Harrisburg, the 18-0 over there, and I may have those backwards, and then Simsboro at 10-0. But that's a look at your last 5 games on there. We'll take a look ahead at next week. We'll take a look at some district standings. We'll take a look at power ratings, and we're going to name our first ever player of the week on here. And so we've got a shirt for that. Nobody here knows it. Well, Chuck knows who it is. So other than that, nobody does. We're going to take a quick break. We are here at Buffalo Wild Wings. You still have opportunity to get out. You going Blazing Wings tonight, or what is it tonight? You've been stuck in a hamburger rut, and you guys are winning. So I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the hamburger right now.
See, that's a true baseball guy right there. A football guy or a basketball guy would have something else. Baseball guys are the most superstitious ones there are. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this from Jason Hawk.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. I am currently a leading provider of appraisal services for mortgage lending, employee relocation, estate planning, and community property settlements. My experience in real estate over the past 13 years and currently serving as president of the Greater Central Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuation needs, give me, Kimberly Harrell, a call.
We're back live to the Warrior Roundup. It is Buffalo Wild Wings on a Sunday evening. Coach, we looked at your last 5 games coming up ahead of us this week. It's those big district contests. You've got 4 games this week. Take us through this week, and the folks at home are able to watch this too.
Yeah, we got Monterey back-to-back. Looks like it could be a Tuesday, Wednesday this week.
Okay.
Coach Richard called me earlier. You know, the weather doesn't look good for Thursday or Friday.
Well, that'll put your West Ouachita game in danger too then.
Correct.
If that's Friday.
But we have West Ouachita another time, so possibly we could double. Coach Richard does a good job. He's been there 20-plus years. You know, we better be ready to go. I know they're a 500 ball club right now, but anytime you got to go to Monterey, makes you a little nervous. Then we got
trip
West
to Black River Lake is always an interesting one.
Correct. And then we got West Ouachita, you know, who's pretty good. They're 500, but, you know, they're very much improved this year. They're going to be a scrappy club. You got Loyola Prep who can pitch and play defense really well.
Right.
So getting them at home, that's going to be a good dogfight there.
It's always been that way. You know, I had Wells came up and asked me again, not knowing much about it, how is Loyola Prep? And I said, look, they're always good. They're always going to come give you that type of a game. And look, everybody knows the history of the Warriors. They're not coming up here with a chance of, we're just playing a Class B school.
Correct.
We're going to come up here and coast into this one. Everybody knows that these Warriors will come and they're going to battle no matter what.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we're going to compete against anybody. And, these teams, here's the thing about it. They see our win total right now. They're looking like, hey, we can make up some ground in our power rankings if
That's
we
right.
go. So they're not going to take us lightly right now where they're at. And,
well, you speak about those power rankings, and here, take a look at them. You guys at the top, the cream is coming up to the top in that as well. Grace Christian, you guys sit there at 13-3 with a 24 power rating. Of Oils Charter right there, the defending state champs are just behind you at 22.5. That's way too small for my eyes, so hopefully other folks can see that. But Claiborne Christian is there lurking around, and their perennial dogs, and Rapides is there. So it's this Division 5 select is solid from top to bottom.
Yeah, family community solid. You know, they're runner up from last year, and then you got Rapides, who, you know, Coach Glass is doing a good job. And you know, I tell everybody, Rapides is all junior seniors, so
right.
You know that's a team you can't take lightly.
Well, the Chamberlain kids, you know, you're going to see him on your game, probably at their place on there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's always, you can't look at that and think of anybody as a day off. But let's take a look at our district standings too. And Grace Christian sits atop that, tied with 2 other teams. So what does that tell you about week 1 that teams are sweeping the teams that they're playing? You don't see any 1-1s in there at all.
No, it kind of went the way we thought it was going to go last week. The teams who we thought would win, I mean, that's who should be there. I mean, we feel like Charter, Rapides, and us are the best 3. And we tell our teams, you cannot slip up and let up against Monterey Harrisonburg, because if whoever does.
Nick has mine, I believe, on there. So anyway, we also have our player of the game that we've done, and we've given out a player of the game, something that we wanted to start doing this week, and we'll name it on all of our broadcasts. And this is it's not a secret in our player of the games, because we'll name it right after the game, and then we get something on there. But this week we're going to name our first ever player of the week, and that's a look back at everything else that we had. So the folks here, well, I'll show that in a bit because nobody in here can see that one, so we won't do that. But we'll go back and look at it. And, Coach, I talked to you a little bit about this young man and what a great week that he had. Picked up a win on the mound this week. Had a great day and actually picked up 10 hits this week. So our very first player of the week is Maddox Adelise. So we'll get Maddox up here, and he's going to get a T-shirt and come and visit with us just a moment. This is the very first one of these ever. It's an extra large. Sorry, you just had to tuck it in or something. No, yeah, come on, we're going to get it. Coach, we'll swap and let him have that headset, and that's yours too. We'll get a shot with you before you go there. You don't mind us. Yeah, look. One thing about him, he doesn't get in a hurry, does he, on that one? Maddox, congratulations. You're our first T-shirt recipient of the Player of the Week. Had a win on the hill this week. Picked up 10 hits and how many RBI, Coach? 7 RBI on there, too. So tell us a little bit about your week.
Just not trying to do too much, at the plate. My approach is base it every time. On the mound, strikes, pop-ups and ground balls, let my defense work.
Look, we talked about it yesterday. The teams that were out there, and won't call any names by any means, but if there's a fly ball in the infield, it's a 50-50 ball for a lot of them. They're moving around under it. You guys it's like you do it every day. What's the idea behind your defense and how solid you guys are?
Oh, it's because of all the work we put in our practice. Coach Bryant's a lot of those pop-ups for us, and we have to go work, communicate. Like me and Jack communicate a lot now since our collision at the Lake Arthur game. We just communicate's the key.
Look, a collision is one of those things that will definitely get you to communicating a little bit better.
Yes, sir.
So what's your approach? We've seen you this year, and I don't know if the word settle down is the one thing, but you've calmed down and your composure has really settled into playing high school baseball this year. What do you think the biggest transition between your game that last year and your game this year is?
Maturing for sure. Having more experience in varsity reps. It just helped me a lot.
Coach Brown, what have you seen the progression of Maddox this year?
Very mature, grown up a lot. That's a lot to do with it. And, having a lot of games under his belt. The guy, we tried to force him to play shortstop last year. He never played there before. With all that experience, summer ball, fall ball, and he's grown up a lot. That's a lot to do with it. And, and I feel like he's learning to understand and make the adjustments, and he did that at the plate. And a credit to him. He goes up there every day and doesn't try to do too much. He stays within himself. And, if you look, he's hitting a lot of his hits in the same spot. He stays true. He doesn't try to do a whole lot. And that's why I think he's having a lot of success. I mean, the kid was 10 for 12 this week, batted .833.
Dude, what happened on the other two? Come on, man. You missed them, didn't you? Do you remember the two that do you remember all 10 of your hits or the two that you didn't get?
I remember one of the two I didn't get, and that was against Simsboro. It was a line out to center field.
Right,
I was bummed out about that.
I remember that one. I remember that one as well. Oh, well. We got a quick video on here. We'll show the folks here. Won't be able to see it, but you'll go back and see it when you get home. There you have it. That is Maddox Adelise. He is our 446 Sports Player of the Week. Maddox, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you, brother.
Awesome, man. Good job.
There you go. We're going to wrap up. We're going to talk to some other folks. We'll do all of that when we come back. You are watching the Warrior Roundup live from Buffalo Wild Wings right here on 446 Sports.
The fine folks at BK Distributors want to thank all the educators for weathering the storms, so to speak, through 2020 and beyond. Thank you for your dedication to our children. The end of the school year awards are now available. Any type of award, trophies, banners, plaques, they do it all at BK Distributors. So with school almost out, that means summer leagues are in full swing. New items, same great prices, and fast turnaround. BK Distributors, Highway 20 in East Pineville behind Arby's.
And we are back live to Buffalo Wild Wings on a Sunday night, having a good time. Again, congratulations to Maddox Adelise. He is our player of the week. And it was tough because so many guys had such a good game, Coach. And I see you got your stats up there. Give me a little overview on where you guys are at this season.
Well, I was looking at Wells' stats here. Let me go back here.
I'll give you some help. Double, 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 double. He said you held him up from going for a triple the other day to keep him at a double because you didn't think he had that speed. Nothing's off the record, brother. I'm sorry. When you tell me something, I get to use it on this.
I don't remember that, but what I do remember is this yesterday.
Okay.
Is this Seth Cook is at third and Wells is at second. Cook takes off with his lightning speed,
right, going
to home. And then Wells with the ball still at third base is wanting to come see me. And I'm like, what are you doing? I remember that part. I don't remember they wanting to go to three here.
So tell me about the play we had, and I forget who it was, and if it was beat up, then I'm gonna be in. But somebody scored from second base on a pass ball. We had runners at second.
That was
third.
Cooper.
Was it? Okay, yeah, and we'll talk to him today. But the wherewithal to come around from second base and just that's that kind of aggressive baseball.
Correct.
That was around in 16, 17, and 18 that you saw. Scored from second base on a pass ball. It doesn't take speed. It doesn't take anything. It takes baseball IQ.
Correct. Read and react and move. You know, we tell them, you know, we want to play that kind of style of baseball.
Right.
That's us. And but Wells had a good week. You know, I think he had 8 RBIs, 4 doubles. You know, he's swinging the bat good right now.
He was 1 triple away from being our player of the week. I'm gonna just leave that out there. But it goes back not only offensively though, the work defensively, Braden, that you've done. Tell me about your game this year and what you think has got you where you're at today.
I mean, you know, staying after practice, getting extra reps in the field or in the batting cage. You know, it's just extra reps.
Tell me about Coach about the work ethic that Wells has.
He just works his butt off. I mean, daily, you know, and he has gotten a lot better in right field. You know, we were kind of unsure where we were going to play him at the beginning of the season. But you got to have a good outfield, and I really like the way our outfield is playing right now. And, you know, we were watching a game last night in the Delhi Charter game against Rapides. Delhi Charter, that right fielder was the player of the game. He threw 3 or 4 kids out. You know, his arm was just everywhere, and we feel like Wells can be that kind of guy in right field, and he's gotten a lot better going to his left and his right. His right, we knew he was already there, and his left, he's just gotten better recently, and, you know, we feel good about him in the outfield.
The one several games ago when I thought it was in foul territory and I thought it was out of play. He goes there, and the next thing I know is Nick is there with us, and he says, Coach, he caught that. I'm like, uh-oh. So I learned to never give up on a play, Wells, if you're not going to do it. Did you ever any doubt in it at all when you went after it? Was there any doubt you were getting to it?
Oh, I was catching that ball, no matter what.
That's what I'm talking about. So you guys put 2 in the bank last week against Harrisonburg. Get your first 2 district games. You got 2 against Monterey coming up, not looking ahead by any means. What do you have to do to take care of business and go 4-0 in district?
Just take it game by game. You know, taking one game at a time, not looking ahead like you said. Just, you know, taking the game that we're playing, winning it, and then going on to the next game.
The weather has been some issues with it. How do you stay focused in all of this? Because you guys have run-ruled your last 4 opponents that you've played. You're playing at a great level. We talk about the first of the season. There were some things maybe, and again, you've only lost 3 games on the year, and you can count the wins that they have with Natchitoches Central, New Iberia, and Converse that are on there. So it's not like you're losing games that you don't need to. But what have you taken out of that real difficult start that says, hey, we're at a spot where we're just going out there and putting up a big 8-run, 10-run, 12-run inning to finish folks off?
I mean, we knew going into the season that the start of the season could have been rough, playing bigger schools, New Iberia, Natchitoches Central. But it's prepared us to come into district and ready to hit, seeing that type of pitching early on in the season. It's prepared us for now. So.
Talk about the pitching. Tell me a little bit about it. I know it's not there, but the pitching that Logan Markle has done when you guys are behind him, he's lights out this year.
Phenomenal, man. I mean, as an 8th grader, what he's doing is crazy.
Is it difficult for you to look at somebody and say, hey, look, youngster, let's go? There's not many of them because just a freshman on here. But no, I say that jokingly. You guys don't look at, and we have the same conversation every time you're here. You don't look at age, don't look at classification. Right. You're just out there, and varsity baseball players going out there putting on, working towards a district championship and a state championship.
Right. We know our players are prepared no matter the age. We know that Logan's ready to go out there and shove it every time he's on the mound. We know that Brady's ready up there, to go get a base hit, get on base. We know that our younger guys are ready to go. Look,
that's Coach, what does that do when you hear that type of confidence out of your guys? Not just younger guys. I'm through talking about younger guys and older guys, but out of your guys.
Yeah, they've grown up a lot, man, and they matured, and they're really buying into what we want to do. And, one thing I keep hearing a lot of our kids say, we finally have that leadership this year.
Right.
And I hear
That's
juniors
huge.
and seniors talk about, man, the growth of the younger kids, too, how much they've matured. So it's just a great thing to deal with as a coach.
One last question for you, Wells, before we get you out of here. We talked about Coach Brown winning his 500th victory on Tuesday night in his long and storied career. You haven't been around for a lot of them. Give me your favorite win, your favorite moment out of here. This isn't a Coach Brown story, so you're safe. Just your favorite win.
The favorite win, oh, man. Probably either last year's Oak Hill game
right.
or 2 years ago, the UA win in the playoffs.
Look, those are special moments indeed. What's your favorite memory? What's your favorite win going to be this year?
Oh, we're winning state.
There you have it. We'll be right back after this. You are watching the Warrior Roundup. Sorry about I forgot what day it was. You're watching the Warrior Roundup with head coach Josh Brown. We'll be back right after this from Southern Air.
Time for a red, white, and cool summer event at Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Right now, you can save on a new energy saving system. No money down, 0% interest, and no payments till June 2024. Call Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing or visit us online.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
At Certified Transmission, you can count on our certified mechanics with over 35 years experience to get your vehicle fixed right and get you back on the road.
Got transmission problems? Go where you know. Certified Transmission.
And we're back here at Buffalo Wild Wings on a Sunday night and having a great show. It has been a lot of fun. We are joined now by Cooper Courtright. What a great segue that was, me asking who scored from second base. And look how quick he got over here, just almost that quick. Coach, Coop, welcome aboard. Okay, so we talked about you not saying one word, and so you went from 1 to 0 on there. When I say, Coach, tell me a little bit about Coop.
Cooper's our utility man. Cooper's the only kid on the team right now that he can play all 9 positions. He can play left field, center field, right field, first base, second base, shortstop, third base, pitcher, catcher, and that's what he's doing right now. So, anytime you can have a guy that can do that, man, that's very versatile for your team, and he's going to help us out in any way. He's huge defensively. I mean, recently he's played center, second a whole bunch, but he can play all 9 spots and do it well.
So here's what I want to put on the table for you then. Let's do that. Let's get that all in one game. Let's get him at all 9 spots in one game.
That's a good idea.
And it's a 7-inning game, so we got to start him out. I don't know if we're going to start him out catching or pitching or one of those because he'll be able to rotate. Coop, you think you can do that?
Probably.
Nicole, you got to get it. Look, is the only one that don't get a word in edgewise is your house? Is that, are you this quiet at home?
No, not really.
Oh, not really. So tell me, do you think that opportunity is there that you could play all 9 in one game?
It'd be hard. We'd have to go in extra innings.
No, we wouldn't. You just have to move around from the outfield positions can all be after each out. We can get it figured. I can get the
we got a game for that. I got one circle. We might can make that happen.
I can get the logistics for it. There's no doubt about that. It's got to be a home game. We've got to do it where we can have it on 446 Sports, but we'll have him do that.
Yeah, I'm sure my coaching staff is out there thinking of the same game I'm thinking of. We can definitely make that happen.
There you go. See,
just got to remind me because,
Oh, look, don't worry. Don't worry about that. I'll be in here, and I know Coop will, too. Tell me about that play from second base where you scored on the pass ball. I guess that was Saturday, wasn't it? Yeah, you just did that in yesterday's game. What was on your mind through that?
I don't know, just run fast.
That dude just run fast. No, that's good. That's great stuff, Coach. I'm going to go back to you a little bit on this because it's difficult pulling that out of to me. Tell me about the progression with Courtright through the years, and you've had a long history of that family that has played ball, a long history of wearing that number 42. Tell me about the youngest to come through there.
Cooper's really coming his own, and now he's on the mound.
Right.
He's got a lot of talent on the bump. I think he's pitched 6 innings so far this year. In the way we're playing lately, we haven't been able to get some of our arms on the mound. When he got in the other night against Harrisonburg on the road, and struck out 2 of the 3 batters he faced. And last year he didn't pitch because he had some arm issues, but he's got that worked out now. And, he's one of our guys out of the bullpen. The future's bright for him. He throws the ball hard, got one of the best type breaking balls on the team. And the progression's been huge because you can see the development defensively from last year to this year. Huge, but like I said, anytime you can play all 9 positions, it does wonders for your ball club. And you got to have a guy like that. And he's that guy right now.
What's your favorite position to play at all 9 of them, and why? Look, I asked him non-open-ended. He's got to tell me, and why?
I like catcher in the game because that's what I've really always played. I just like having the ball all the time.
What do you think your best? If he says, okay, you got to go out there in one position, this is going to be the one that you excel the most at and you're most comfortable at. Which one is that?
Left field.
Left field. Played that a number of years in that outfit. You're very solid that's out there. Coach, when you look at him in practice, where do you practice him at? What are you able to do with him, and how do you get him into those positions?
He practices everywhere, and recently we've had to catch him a little bit more, and
right.
We've kind of told him that he's moved into that backup role there, and he could be the guy next year. Honestly, he has a great arm, but we want to take care of him because we feel like he also has a future to pitch still for the next 2 years and this year. So I don't know, man. It's going to be hard. We've even worked him out at shortstop a lot lately, so. I don't know. He can do a little bit of everything. We're just going to keep plugging away and see where it leads us.
Well, when you've got Cooper Courtright, you've always got somebody that can fill in that position. So, Coop, good job this year. Looking forward to a lot more games, a lot more years out of it.
Thank you.
There you go, Cooper Courtright joining us. And I'm glad that you were able to get so much knowledge out of this interview with Coop on there, too. It's one of those great ones. No, I jest with that. Love him, love the family. They're all great guys. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're rolling through this one, aren't we? Coach, are you doing the Hot Wing Challenge tonight? No, we're still not doing that.
Cody Davis may do it. Cody Davis and Seth Cook, I think those 2 guys need to go at it. 2 seniors.
Next week. We'll absolutely do that. Now, and I've got one for you, too. They've got they've got a French fry eating contest, because that burger contest, you struggled mightily at that one last year. The sweat before, look, Coach Campbell was the one that, and Canyon. So there's that. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're watching the Warrior Roundup with head coach Josh Brown right here on 446 Sports.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation. Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
And we are back live to Buffalo Wild Wings on a Sunday evening. We're joined by two familiar faces here on the show, Seth Cook and Cody Davis, two of the seniors. And guys, welcome.
Appreciate it.
Is my mic on?
No.
Oh, okay. Is it?
No, it's just fine, yes.
All right,
you know how you hear it in your ears? That means it's on.
I can't really hear it.
You can't hear it. We'll get that turned up for you then in just a bit.
There we go. Got it now.
That should work?
Oh, yeah.
Guys, you've won, 5 straight, I guess, 13-3 on the season. Last 4 wins have been by run rule on there. And it's come in big innings. It's not, what was it? The last time we talked was probably 2 weeks ago, and it took you 5-6 innings. Last time when you threw that game, it took about 6 innings to do that. You guys have come up and had those big innings. You're never out of one. Take me through the last 4 or 5 games, Seth.
We've just been trying to hit a little bit better earlier in the game, fighting through the game and not just having one explosive inning. And I feel like we're starting to finally kind of get the bats going 1 through 9 and batting each other around and try to get going earlier.
Indeed, you're doing that. Cody doing a great job in the leadoff role this year. Have seen a lot more patience out of you this year, and maybe not seeing a number of pitches, but you've taken more walks this season than I think I've seen you take before.
Yeah, I'm just going up there trying to, not necessarily looking for a walk, but just trying to get on base any way I can, especially right now. I'm in a little slump right now. Hitting the ball, just trying to get on any way I can.
Yeah, but in defense of that, your on-base percentage is there. So you're doing what a leadoff hitter's supposed to do, and that's get on base. The hits are going to come around because you're having good at-bats. You know your way around the plate. So that's going to come out there. I mean, you're having great success at the plate. It may not be base hits, but you're having success there.
Yeah, I just got to stay true to myself and, trust my swing, and I think it'll come.
So trusting, let's talk about that just a second. Trusting that backstop area that's up there. Yesterday we saw a play, and I've never seen anyone get I have seen some people get when they get caught off at second base on the play. But that ball that hit the backstop bounces around to you, you throw the guy out by 10 steps, and he's so mad. How does that make you feel?
Oh, that made me feel pretty good. I went and looked back at the pictures, and Maddox had the ball before he was even in the frame, and I thought, I'm talking, that dude got upset.
I've never seen somebody get that mad before.
Yeah, I mean, he straight up Hulk punched the ground.
The helmet didn't survive. And you guys see that going around, and you're like, boy, looky here.
That'll give you a little bit of confidence.
Indeed, it does. When you see somebody taking off on him like that, what are your thoughts? You know that it's trouble.
Hey, I just holler and see what happens. That's it.
Indeed, it has. You guys have played. You start out district play at 2-0, which is what you wanted to do on there. Have Monterey, and you know that trip to the Black River Lake area is always tough, and Monterey is always a tough game. How do you stay focused and go on that and not look at the record?
Well, you just got to know that what kind of team that we are, what we're going to try to go and do, and I think that we try to go into every game trying to win, and it doesn't really matter what colors you're wearing, where you're at, or what team you've been in the past. I just want to go in there and I want to win. I think if you've got 9 guys who want to go in and win, I think there's nothing that's going to stop you from it.
Cody, tell me about the development of the arms. We talked about this at the first of the season and what a plethora of pitchers that you had. Tell me about them a little bit and how they have changed from the start of the season to now.
Well, I think everybody's kind of, more or less settled in a little bit, got a little bit more comfortable on the mound. And Cooper's came in, done a great job of relieving pitchers, Seth's starting to pitch again. And, of course, Logan, Canyon, they're all doing what they've been doing. Everybody's finally starting to kind of settle down on the mound and throwing strikes.
You guys have seen this through the years. It's been, and Seth, you've been a part of it. Canyon's been a part of it. When it's that arm that you go to, and you'll throw a little bit on Tuesday and come out of a game and throw a little bit on Thursday and save some for Saturday as well. And now it looks like there's such a competition between the pitchers that are out there to see who's going to give up the least number of hits. I think Logan's hanging in there on that. He doesn't like giving up hits at all, does he?
Oh, it's always everybody wants the ball all the time. All the pitchers are wanting the ball every game.
Look, we saw Canyon work yesterday, I guess it was, and we made reference to it in the game that he was pitching a little like Seth in the game, and I mean that because
he was speeding it up a little bit.
He wants the ball. I mean, as soon as you get the ball, you're like, Cody, let's go, bro. Give me the ball back. You're wanting it before the pitch is even to Cody, I think, sometimes. Wanting it back to throw it again. What is that rhythm that you guys talk about?
I know that for me, it's like whenever I'm throwing strikes, as soon as I get the ball, I'm ready to go back. Because I have a saying that my grandpa told me a long, long time ago: think long, think wrong.
Right.
And so I just get the ball and just throw it. And I think if you can stay out of your head, you're going to be successful.
Well, indeed. I have a saying that my wife tells me a lot: don't be stupid. It has nothing to do with this show, but if we're talking about things that people say, that it is, and it's that thing. Don't get in your own head, and that's what we've seen. You guys have been able to get into a ball game, and we talked about it a little bit earlier. Yesterday we saw there's some fly balls, and a longtime friend of the program, Keith Stokes, was up in the press box with me, and he sees a ball that's hit up the air, and he says, that guy's going to miss it. I think I misses it because he's just uncertain. You guys aren't that way. It's just another routine fly ball anywhere it's at for y'all.
Definitely.
What about the work of your outfielders? Tell me about that, how confident you are, even though they're younger like they are when the ball's hitting the outfield.
Oh, I mean, we have a young outfield this year, but they call themselves the no-fly zone. And
do they really?
They got it going on. But
they've never said that while they were here on the show, so I'll have to dig that out of them. I'm going to save that.
They've done really good this year. I don't really think there hasn't been too many complaints about it at all. They've all done really good.
Definitely.
So through the years in outfield, and I played outfield, you know what we told people about why they played outfield? Because when you're coming up from Little League, everybody's playing the infield. Nobody wants to play in the outfield. And so what we would tell them, look, the folks that play infield, because they're not good enough to play in the outfield.
That's right.
That's the way that goes. But you guys have had a great senior season, a lot in front of you. I think everything is working along. If you look back and said, hey, we'll be 13-3 at this point in the season, I think you'd have took that.
I'd be pretty happy.
Definitely.
Very happy.
Yeah, and the progression, everybody is getting a little bit better each time. And Coach Brown and the coaching staff have done a great job of adjusting people in the batting order of where they need to be and moving things around. But it just seems like 1 through 9, top to bottom, there's not really an easy out.
Not at all.
I think that's the problem you're going to face with teams too is, the other day they intentionally walked Cody, loaded up the bases, made the force out, and we had Talon, who's in 8th grade, who comes up there and he grounds out. He doesn't strike out.
That's right.
He puts the ball in play as an 8th grader.
Yep.
And so, you think of it.
He gets a run in at that point. So
right.
That's right.
So I think that 1 through 9, anybody has the opportunity to score.
I think yesterday they walked you on a 3-0 count. They went ahead and put you on.
Yeah,
on
I think it was a 3-1 or
3-1
something.
or whatever it was, and Tally
Yeah.
comes up with a base hit right behind it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. He has hit the ball very well this year.
Young kids, big-time moments.
Look, that's a shirt waiting to happen right there. That's no-fly zone in the young kids, and yeah, that's good stuff, guys. As always, there's a spot here at the table for you anytime that you come around. It's always a pleasure speaking with you too. Cody Davis, Seth Cook. We are watching. You are watching. I guess we are too. We all are. This is the Warrior Roundup with head coach Josh Brown on 446 Sports, live from Buffalo Wild Wings. We'll be back right after this.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. I am currently a leading provider of appraisal services for mortgage lending, employee relocation, estate planning, and community property settlements. My experience in real estate over the past 13 years and currently serving as president of the Greater Central Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuation needs, give me, Kimberly Harrell, a call.
We're back, Buffalo Wild Wings, our final segment of the evening. So it's one of those that we'll get through and try to jam as much into it as we can. Again, getting a look at the crowd that is out here tonight. There's everybody out there. We'll see if I can get them to. Well, Jimmy's going to do it. Jimmy will wave to us on there. Jimmy in on that state championship team was in yesterday, threw out a first pitch along with Carson Courtwright and Coach Jacob Ladner. They were in here, so that gives you a good idea. You get a look on your screen of the crowd. Even have folks from New York that have made it down here. I want to think they came in just for the show. They can say they've been in here since November, but I think that it was in here just for the show. But as always, the Lonadiers are here, and great to see them. And if they're not here, they're watching. You know that they're certainly doing that. And one thing folks have been able to watch is the left-handed eighth grader that we have in here with us too, Logan Markle, coach. And tell me a little bit about Logan.
Logan, oh my bad. I was looking at those onion rings for a second. But
so anyway, onion rings brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. And there we go.
No, Logan's been great, man. 2 no-hitters this year, 2 shutouts. It's been every time he gets on the mound, he gives us a shot. And, he competes, gets in the zone, and, he's been great, man. And I thought last week was one of his best outings. At the right time. It's district time. So.
Seems to get better as he goes along. But so, Logan, I've got a tough question for you, and welcome back to the show here. I get the no-hitters. They're cool. But how about a perfect game? Throw me a little perfect game in there. Some 12 up, 12 down, 15 up, 15 down. I'm kidding, but no, I'm not really. No, great season this year.
Yes, sir.
What do you think the secret to your success has been?
I always just get in there and try to get ahead. Once I get ahead, I'm usually going to win it.
How important is it? So for those of you that went, because that's such a great thing, and we talk about people that pitch, and we talk about people that are pitchers, and there's a big difference between the two of them. And that type of a baseball IQ, saying you want to get ahead in the count. Tell everybody that's listening why that's so important.
Because once you get ahead, it's way easier because they have to watch 4 balls, and you literally have to start 1 strike if you're ahead.
Look, that's the thing, and you've got not just the one. So it's hard enough if you're just a hard-throwing left-hander, which you are, but you mix up that changeup, that curveball, and whatever that ball is that you throw from the left side that ducks back into that. I have no idea what that pitch is yet, but how do you manage the variety of pitches that you have?
My brother really taught me all of them, and I've been practicing since travel ball, really.
I'm going to teach you the knuckleball before it's over with. You don't know that one? I taught a couple of guys. Coach Brad, do you really?
I can throw one. I'm not comfortable pitching with it yet.
We'll get you there. Don't worry. Don't worry about that. We had some guys back in that 16, 17 year that Coach Brown said, y'all stay away from Mr. Gann because I'm going to teach them all how to throw the knuckleball in there. We'll add that in there after this is over with. But, we talked to you early in the season, and we throw age out of it now. You're midway through the season. None of that matters anymore. Tell me about that pitching staff and where the entire development is as a whole with you guys.
We have a great pitching staff, and Coach Keene, he's really been there to help us all and help us with our mechanics.
Indeed, he has. So take all of that out of play. Pretty solid in center field. You get to start at center field when you're not on there, and of late you've been hitting the ball really, really well too.
Yes,
how important is it to work on those two parts of your game and be well-rounded so that later on in high school or college you're not just a pitcher only, you're able to do some other things?
Hitting, it helps me out really.
There you go. What's the one thing that you like to work on the most when you're at practice? When nobody's around and Logan Markle is working on this, what is that?
Yeah, I've been having to work on my hitting the most. That's really what I've been having problems with. Everything else I really behind me right now.
Coach, your assessment on that, what do you see? Do you feel that way as well?
He's turned it around. At the beginning of the year, he was kind of struggling in the preseason swinging the bat. And a lot of it was a lack of reps. He's playing basketball, didn't have the reps that everybody else had. And I just told him to be patient with it. And he stayed within himself and has got one of the best on-base percentages the last 3 weeks on the team. All he does is get on base. And the thing I like about him, he's so humble. He does anything to help the team out, and he just wants to win, man. He's a competitor.
So is it fair to say that he's gotten more hits on the year than he's given up? That's a stat to look at, isn't it?
Yeah, that is.
I know you've got a stat for everything, and you'll probably find that out before we get out of the show, but that certainly is a good thing. Logan District coming up, 2-0 in District right now. You guys are set and going where you want to be. It's a long – he has, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has more. Yeah, he's only given up 5 hits all season.
And he's got how many?
And offensively, let's see. He's got 10 hits.
Okay, so see, there you go. I thought so. And look, that's not just a one-inning pitcher or a two-inning pitcher. This guy is a guy that's got a couple of no-hitters under his belt there. So what do you look at mid-season? The one thing that age might come in, and it goes away with you guys. In the travel ball era, it's not like your old Dixie players where you come and play 10 games in the season. That's all you're used to. You come around to play 35 games in a regular season here. You're prepared for it. But the rigors of this season, of a longer season and all of the games, how's that doing on your body, and how do you prepare for that playoff run?
You just keep playing. We're getting better at hitting, getting better at playing as a team in the field, and our pitchers, they're really getting better.
Well, there you have it. Logan Markle joins us here. 2 no-hitters on the year, 5 hits given up on the season, 10 collected from the plate. That's a pretty good statistic, and we'll take that every day, won't you?
Absolutely.
There you go.
Of the week.
There you go. Logan, thank you, sir. We've got time for one more segment, Coach. I think you wanted one more to come up here, and we'll visit with him real quick. Won't take a break. We'll just let them swap headsets, and we'll do that. Yeah. Yes, we'll do it either way. It's the Warrior Roundup with Coach Josh Brown. It's all you. Look, what a great crowd out here tonight. We turned the camera around a little bit earlier and looked at it too. So tremendous support out here coming out on a Sunday night to Buffalo Wild Wings. Certainly the biggest crowd that we have had all night, or all night, of course it is, all year that we have had from Grace Christian, and looking forward to it. Coach, while he's getting on the headset too, the Lady Warriors softball team's pretty solid this year too.
They're doing
I know
well.
You follow that. Tell me a little bit about them real quick.
Yeah, they're doing well. I think they're 11-3 right now, ranked number 1 as well. I was kind of neat talking to somebody from KLB the other day. I said, both programs right now are number 1 in the state. It's pretty neat, and it's good to have the softball program back doing well. Struggled for a couple years, but they're doing well, man. They got some good girls. They go out there and compete every day, and they got a shot to go far this year.
Well, it's a tremendous spring season here.
Absolutely.
For Grace Christian, and looking forward to maybe we'll get some of them on the show
Yeah, for sure.
Before all of this is over with. Tell me who we've got up here to close the show out for us.
Yeah, this is Ty Tarver. He's an 8th grader. I really wanted to bring him on because I felt like, the kid's really been working his butt off up the middle the other night at Harrisburg to have another one. But, we gave him a game ball after the Northwest game, that ball that he had, and we were just proud of him.
Well, tell us a little bit about that. Your first base hit in varsity. What did that mean to you?
Well, just trying to get up there.
Age, all these older guys. Now, again, go get in there and then play against these older guys.
It's just doing it for the team, Just got to do the best I can.
Coach, how do you get that type of mindset out of everybody that's on your team? I mean, that's a carbon copy of an answer that I would expect from everybody. Is that what makes you guys so successful? Is that everybody is out for the team and there's no concern about individuality out here?
Yeah, I think so. When you're playing for each other, it's just a big difference, man. Somebody said this earlier. You're not playing together, you're playing for each other.
Right.
And it just goes a long way, and I feel like those guys are doing that. They're playing for each other. They want to have success. They want to see other guys succeed, and we preach that a lot. We over me, and that's the way we got to be.
Tell me a little bit about what your strength is and your weaknesses, and what you've got to do to get a little bit better at your weaknesses.
Well, just kind of young and experienced in varsity, just faster pitching, just a lot more experienced kids. You just got to do the best you can.
What if you said was your number one strength? Like they continue to reload. There's never a rebuilding time in there. You get these players at such early ages and development time they've been around. One of those was in town from Ohio the other day. Jimmy Miller, again, was part of that 2017 state championship. One of those that threw the first pitch out and clearly threw. He said he hadn't played baseball in a little while, but he threw the ball better than Coach Ladner did. I don't know that, but I can't miss an opportunity to dig on Coach Ladner.
Well, we need to get Coach Ladner over here for a minute. Go get Coach
Ladner real quick, and let's ask him about that. Let's see what he thinks about that. But when you see these guys come back in this program, Coach, and come back here to Jimmy, and that was a special moment. I asked Jimmy about the fact that Maddox is wearing number 1 for the season on there, and he says they have great conversations, and that's good to see.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, it's awesome to see that, and a lot of them have a good relationship with these former guys, man. It's just awesome. They look up to them.
Right, indeed. And there's Coach Ladner that's on there. Coach, was yours the ball that bounced on the first pitch that was thrown out? Was that you?
It wasn't me. I throw BP for a living, so I was just
I throw BP for a living, he says. Wow. How special was it to get back out there and be a part of? I know you're around this program and you see everything that's going on, but to see Jimmy back in town and get some recognition for that state title game.
Oh, it was great. Jimmy was one of those key guys on that team, and watching him grow into the player that he did, it's honestly kind of unexpected for me because when I left, he wasn't, he was just a young guy, real young guy, and he worked his rear off to become a really great player. So it was nice.
Indeed, he has. Tell me what you see about this team this year that reminds you of those 16, 17, 18 teams that says, hey, you know what, this team's got a shot.
A lot of the young guys, there's no quit in a lot of them, and every pitch they scrap, they claw, and it reminds me of the 17 and 18 classes.
Right.
We were just so close together, and we always thought, it didn't matter like who you were, where you were from, like step across the line, it's time to go. Like we were ready to play. And it was, I like the same mentality these kids have. So
had some dog in them, didn't they? Had some dirtbag in them. That's exactly what they had. All right, I'm going to let you wrap up the show tonight with this. We talked about Coach Brown and his 500 wins that he's had. I'm going to give you 2 questions here. What's your most memorable win out of those? And what's your best Coach Brown moment out of those 2? So you got 2 answers to take us out of here tonight. First one, best win.
It's got to be in the state championship. It's not even a question. That's the best feeling in the world, and I want that for each and every one of these guys is to experience that, and that's what we work towards every day. And favorite story, man, we could be here a while, but it's got to be the 16 semifinal win in a Cocoa.
Yep.
We get back on the bus, and I wish we had the videos still, but he danced from the front of the bus to the back of the bus.
Now,
and
whoa, stop. This is your favorite Coach Brown memory. So this is Josh Brown you're talking about was dancing from the – start
Correct.
That story over. He was doing what?
Dancing from the front of the bus to the back of the bus, back to the front of the bus.
How did that video not end up one on 446 Sports, but in the archives of all of this. Who had that video?
Great question. I don't know where it is. I don't know who has it, but it's somewhere out there, and if I ever find it, you will have it.
It will be back on the air. Tremendous moment that it was. It's hard to wrap up just one in the middle of all of that, but we have to for time. Again, Coach Brown, congratulations. It was Tuesday night, victory number 500. We're looking forward to victory number 1,000 before all of the carry the sixes. That's a long time.
It is.
We'll see if Miss Coach Brown is around for that as well. Got to get that trip to Atlanta next year to go play. That was the request. So you kind of have to.
I know. We're working on that. We're trying to go to Raging Cajun Field here shortly before the year's out. We're working on that right now.
Houston, Iowa, Lafayette. You go to Lafayette all the time, Coach.
Yeah, I know. Atlanta's in the works for sure.
There you go. Guys, it's been a tremendous show. A big thanks out to everybody that made it out to Buffalo Wild Wings, everybody that went back and watched the show again to see this fun. Coach Ladner, for your memories there that you have there. Look forward to many more of those. We'll get those on the show that's just me and you. We'll do a podcast. I'll get you on my show that I do from the house, and we'll get you on that one, and we can talk.
We can tell some stories. There's no doubt.
Indeed we can. Guys, that's going to wrap it up. For my man Chuck Perkins, for everybody involved in it, I am Doug Gann. God bless you all, and good night.